Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It's the second video for today. We're getting it in today. It's March 8th, 2019. Got to give a shout to my man Sarge Crypto for the song request. Hey man, this is a classic. Big Pun featuring Fat Joe. Twins. I love this song right here, man. Thanks for the song request, Sarge. What's good, people? Welcome again to another episode, and yes, a second video for today, but I gotta cover some stuff in the crypto space. Definitely some things going down. One thing that caught my eye today, guys, was an article about, I guess, Vitalik Buterin is proposing an increase in fees for users on the network to support Ethereum developers. This is not a good idea, people. This is not a good idea. He's going in the wrong direction with this proposal, but we'll take a look at the details and also get your feedback on that. And the second article, former Nocoiner now praising Bitcoin. And you know, I tell you guys all the time, if you can get people to adopt crypto in the bear market, they'll be around for the bull market. I mean, that's quite naturally the case, right? I think if people are able to get people to understand Bitcoin when there's not a get rich connotation behind it, those are the individuals that will stick around for the long haul. So we want to adopt now in the bear market, not in the bull market. It was easy to get people to adopt in 2017. I couldn't throw a Bitcoin at people in 2013 and 14, but 17, people were coming up to me. People that I didn't even know knew I had Bitcoin and was involved in the space. So again, this is what we want. We want to see Nocoiners and detractors adopt when it's a bear market. Those are the ones that really matter. So we'll take a look at this Nocoiner that is now praising Bitcoin. This one is out of the Bitcoinist.com. But first, let's take a look at that market cap. We are currently at 133 billion, up a tick from yesterday and actually the day before as well. Small increments up. We should be blowing up here at some point. We're pressing up against this resistance area, and if we had volume, it would have already happened, but we're still low on liquidity, so everything is just like very sporadic. It's this move here, this should have definitely been in a normal market, would have been an explosion up, but we have not seen that yet. At least we are kind of above that resistance area, so that's positive news, though we always have a risk of being slammed back down. But this is positive news at this point to see us above the resistance line, and hopefully we can blow to the next area of resistance, which is roughly around 41.75, and really, you know, we need to get above 42.50 something, if I recall correctly, to really make new highs. So that's all I've got there for the chart for today. But the first article is out of the Bitcoinist, and it is about that Nocoiner now praising Bitcoin. Says it's digital gold. I gotta agree with him on that one. A world-renowned economic historian who was previously skeptical on Bitcoin now thinks that it has a bright future. The expert also holds that its distinction is going to make it appealing to investors in the upcoming years. Niall Ferguson, a well-known economic historian and recognized author, spoke at the Australian Financial Review Business Summit, which took place on March 5th and 6th in Sydney, Australia. The expert, who previously thought that Bitcoin is a complete delusion, now holds that it has a bright future, a very bright future. He says, "I was very wrong to think that there was no use for a form of currency based on blockchain technology. I don't think this is a complete delusion." Ferguson revealed that he first considered Bitcoin to be a delusion when his son suggested that he buy some 5 years ago. Later on, when the price of the cryptocurrency surged in 2017, the historian says he watched in despair. He goes on to say here, Bitcoin is a bit like an option on digital gold. The historian also said that there is a bright future ahead for Bitcoin because it's particularly distinct, and that's what's going to make it attractive to investors. Niall Ferguson is far from being the first prominent figure in the world of economics to turn positive on Bitcoin. Back in 2017, the chairman and CEO of banking mogul JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, went all out on Bitcoin, saying that he'd fire any trader working for him if he traded Bitcoin. You can't have a business where people are going to invent a currency out of thin air. Oh, like the Federal Reserve, right? It won't end well. Oh, like the Federal Reserve, right? Someone is going to get killed and then the government is going to come down on it, man. This guy, Jamie Dimon, is something else. A few months later, however, the CEO pivoted on his position, admitting that he regrets making these claims. What is more, Ferguson is also not the first one to compare Bitcoin to gold. Serial entrepreneur and investor John Pfeffer said last year that Bitcoin is the first viable replacement for gold. And the last quote from this article is from the Winklevoss twins. They say, taking Bitcoin in isolation, we believe Bitcoin disrupts gold. We think that it's a better gold if you look at the properties of money and what makes gold gold. Scarcity. Bitcoin is actually fixed in supply, so it's better than scarce. It's more portable. It's fungible. It's more durable. It sort of equals a better gold across the board. It's not fungible fully. That's the only thing. There are solutions that I think will make it definitely fungible. But I agree. Bitcoin is the first of maybe many digital blockchain cryptographic assets. Okay, and I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It really is a game changer, and people need to start looking at it in that light. Yes, I could go to some place, and if they accept gold, I could pay with a carat of gold, but that's not really the function of gold. It's more so an asset, and that's how people need to really start looking at Bitcoin. And I think if they frame it in that light, a lot of the smart individuals like the Peter Schiffs out there, they would possibly have a different view on it. Though I will have to say, I think Peter is just stubborn. He's a smart guy. I watch his podcast like every night. But I think he's, one, stubborn. Two, Bitcoin is a direct threat to his business and what he's pushing, which is gold. So, quite naturally, he's going to have some type of pushback to this new technology that's threatening his business model. So yeah, you guys definitely, if you can get people to adopt Bitcoin now, you're going to have a Bitcoiner for life. So go out there, try to get some people to adopt Bitcoin in this bear market. That is my challenge to you guys. The second article is out of Shepacap, I believe. It says that Vitalik Buterin proposes to increase user fees on the network. It says Vitalik Buterin, the creator of the Ethereum blockchain project, took to Twitter to propose an increase of user fees on the Ethereum network for the purpose of supporting developers with a sustainable, non-institutionally biased market-based funding. In a bid to support developers with sustainable funding, Ethereum's co-founder Vitalik Buterin proposed to increase the user fees on the network. He says, I propose that we consider supporting a community norm that client/wallet devs can and should charge a 1 GUI gas fee for transactions sent through their wallets. We don't try to circumvent such fees, and we support protocol changes to make such fees easier. Gas fees denominated in GUI is the internal pricing for running a transaction and contract in Ethereum, if you guys didn't know. Vitalik suggested that by increasing the average user cost by only 7%, it could collectively raise up to $2 million in a year, which would easily cover all Ethereum Foundation grants to date. Vitalik further points out that he wants to encourage this fee as a norm, not a mandate in the Ethereum ecosystem. He says, to be clear, I am not advocating a norm mandating a 1 GUI fee. I am arguing for a norm discouraging overly complaining about and or trying to circumvent the fee if it were to exist. I don't know, man. It goes on to say here that the Russian Canadian programmer told CoinDesk that in general the community feedback to his proposal has been very encouraging, and he hopes to see it included in Ethereum wallet soon. He says, I came up with the proposal after talking with economists at the Economic and Computation Conference at Cornell last year. I'm hoping the proposal can be included soon, he says. What do you guys think about this? To me, again, this is just pushing away users. You're adding an additional tax. Like, I think this is a bad move, and again, shows you, or should show you, that Ethereum, if they continue down these types of roads, they are going to be irrelevant. they're going to be irrelevant fast. The way you support developers is by having a product that is in demand, so where a developer will be paid for their services by the public. That's how you create support for your developers. Have an ecosystem that is in demand and build the product, and people will come, basically, is what I'm saying. You guys let me know your thoughts about this 1 GUI fee he wants to add to wallets, or have that be a norm. It's just not a good look, man. It's just not a good look. Again, let me know your thoughts on both that and the former Nocoiner now praising Bitcoin. Says it's digital gold.